everybody. I just heard the beep, so I had to turn my head and look at the camera. Hi, everybody. It is Saturday, the date here, the 3rd of dates. May. Why my dates just gone on my brain? The 3rd of May. But, well, by 4 minutes, so I wanted to get this in. If it goes up after that time I just said, well, it's the 4th of May at such and such a time when it uploaded. Whatever. But yes, today/yesterday was free comic book day. So this is whereby there are a set of free comic books that are released that you can just go to your local comic book store and pick up, and it's kind of there to kind of introduce people into reading comics and get people interested in some new titles and some new publishers they may never have heard of. And it's a really cool thing to do, and there was a large variety of comics that there were there. So the comics that I got and I'm going to show you are by no means a definitive list of what was there. So I thought I would get started. So I'm just going to go in the order my pile is in. So for example, this is a manga version of the play, musical, now movie, Les Miserables, which is kind of interesting, and I believe in the back it has Pride and the Prejudice. It's part of a series called Manga Classics, which I think is a pretty cool idea, and I thought, I like manga, and I've never seen Les Miserables, and it's probably one of the most critically acclaimed things, and I thought, might as well pick it up, because, free comic books. Then next I have Future's End, issue 0 by DC, which is part of their latest event that's coming up. So it has something to do with Batman Beyond, which I loved Batman Beyond, the TV show from the 90s, and looks like some Justice League stuff with cyborgs and stuff is going down. I'll give this a read, because Batman Beyond, but on a whole, DC have not really been doing it for me lately, I'm going to be honest. If you're into comics and watching this, you will probably know that DC have been taking the stance recently that everything is just going to be as dark and gritty as possible, which is not necessarily something everyone goes for, and it's not something that tickles my fancy. So next on the list was the Overstreet's Comic Book Marketplace, which, I don't know, it's more like a little handbooky kind of guide thing, and obviously, yes, that was probably one of the things that drew me to it initially. But if you open up, it has, I don't know where that you can see this, it's like a little kind of guideline to comics, and it's like a kind of monthly, it looks like. I haven't read through all of these totally, but it looks like a monthly that they're doing, are based on comic books and stuff, which is really cool. And also, looking at the next page, it says it's showing you the price of some classic comic books. So Amazing Fantasy number 15, where Amazing Spider-Man first debuted there, and it's got the prices down here about how much an issue costs. So in 2004 it cost $42,500, and now in 2013 $175,000 for an issue of Amazing Fantasy 15, the first appearance of Spider-Man, which is also coincidental because I saw the Amazing Spider-Man 2 the other day. I've also played the game. Film is fantastic. Go watch that. The game, not so much. And the little kid inside me, what I'm talking about, I still love Power Rangers. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is a free comic book. I thought, why not? Because Mighty Morphin Power Rangers holds a special place in my heart, and it's like White Ranger Tommy as well. And everybody knows White Tiger is awesome. So another one I got was from a publisher called Action Lab. Looked a bit different. Skyward, something to do with a man and his dog, and he has some kind of canine superpowers. He looks more like a fighter. Maybe he's like a wrestler of some sort, and then became a hero. I don't know. I mean, you pick up these things and flick through it, and there is a giant hyena about to take a dude out. I mean, okay. Then another favorite of mine, I think a lot of favorites of people, Avatar: The Last Airbender. I don't know whether this would necessarily fit in within the timeline, but this looks like an adventure mainly featuring Suki and Sokka, which was an interesting pairing, because Sokka, not interesting pairing, but an interesting protagonist for the comic, because Sokka was the comic relief character, but he was definitely a very good character, and Suki was a very strong character in her own right, part of the Kyoshi Warriors, which was a pretty awesome group of warriors based after one of the past avatars, which is pretty cool. And then we have Epic, which I like the cover of because it's got the hero here trying to hold off this giant lizard guy, and there are these two girls here trying to take pictures, and he's saying, "Seriously, ladies, not helping." And it kind of was almost a social satire on how people not necessarily go and get help; they will just take out the phones and be like, "Oh, gotta remember this," which I thought was kind of amusing. Um, and that's published by Comics Tribe, comics spelled with an X. Avatar was published by Dark Horse, if I didn't mention. Yeah, again, these are. I know Dark Horse. I know DC, obviously. I haven't heard of Gemstone Publishing, who does the comic book thing we do. And it's kind of interesting. I want to see all of these different publishers, and if I enjoy their work, I'll probably get into them as well. And then we have Viz Media, showing off All You Need Is Kill, which is an interesting one. I decided to pick this up because the next Tom Cruise. Why did I about to say Tom Hanks? But the next Tom Cruise movie is based off of the manga, which this comic is also based off. And they changed the name. Was it like something about tomorrow? I cannot remember the name. So let's quickly. All You Need Is Kill movie. What are they called? Edge of Tomorrow. I knew I had some word tomorrow, but yeah, basically mechs, some time travel elements apparently in there. And it looked kind of awesome. So I thought, you know what, I might as well get a bit of backstory on what the film is. So I thought I'd pick that up. And then from Valiant Comics, the Valiant Universe, which I assume is going to be a selection of their heroes and characters, common Laurence words, in this comic. Valiant rings a bell. Again, somebody I'm not necessarily I'm familiar with, but it looks more like, yes, this is where I saw the samurai with a robot horse on a bionic arm. Pretty cool. So this looks more like a bio-profiler type thing with all the characters, but still worth the read, I'd think. Then we have, let's see, Project Black Sky. Project Black Sky is it's a Dark Horse comic, but the comic is called Project Dark Sky. I can't speak for whatever reason. I thought that was the publisher name because that's what publisher names usually are. But it's a Dark Horse comic called Project Black Sky, and I do find interest in some of the Dark Horse stuff. Not necessarily into Hellboy. I love the Avatar stuff, but I do want to see what more of their superheroes are like, because I do want to see what superheroes are like outside of just your basic Marvel and DC lines. So which is cool. And those are all the free comic book day comics that I picked up, but there were a massive selection. There was some kids one. There's one called Scratch 9. If I remember, it looked more like there's dogs and cats, like really cutesy drawn. I think there was an Archie comic crossover with Sonic and Mega Man. Or was that last year? I think that was last year's free comic book day. But I cannot remember the whole list off the top of my head. But you can probably find a list of these. The whole set of comic books, if you just whack in Free Comic Book Day 2014, and you'll probably get like a full list. And I don't know if you'd probably be able to get them after the fact if they had any copies or whatever. But it'd be worth a try. And don't forget, there's always next year as well when they bring it round again. So yeah, keep the date in your diaries. I believe it's like the first Saturday of every May, I think. So it's good. But also, while I was there, the comic book store I got these from, I managed to pick up two things as well. I picked up Batwing, the graphic novel, which was I wanted to get into that because I saw his recent costume and it looks pretty cool. I remember picking up the issue, I want to say a year or so ago, looking at the art and thinking that looks quite interesting. So I don't know, he's part of the Bat Clan, obviously. But I want to know where he fits within the whole universe and see what's going on with that. And then I also got Inhumanity issue 2, which is another thing which kind of interested me, because I read Inhumanity issue 1, which is coming off the back of Infinity, where the Terrigen Mists have flown across the Earth in the Marvel universe and given different Inhuman descendants their powers, and Medusa, the queen of the Inhumans, is going around and saving them all. And the art is pretty interesting. I'll give you a quick flick. I'll just open up to a page and show you about the art here. So that is that. And I thought it would be interesting to follow up this series. So yeah, that is what I got from Free Comic Book Day plus extras. But yeah, if you want to check out Free Comic Day, just I'll probably drop a link in the description about what's going on. If you're somehow in America or that side of the world, I think you've still got a few hours of Free Comic Book Day left. So if you, I'll drop a link for a store locator so you can know where everything is for you guys. And yeah, that was my escapades from Free Comic Book Day. It was fun talking about you for all the comics I picked up. I'm running after over 20 minutes now, so I'm probably gonna shut up and I'll probably talk to you another time, sometime in the future when I do my next video. And I am probably put this on notice, but I'm probably gonna start streaming Smite because that is a game I'm starting to get well into now. I was looking for a MOBA for a long time. I did play a bit of Dota, but the barrier to entry is so high, and then I found Smite, which was just a nice little smooth ride for me. So I think if I continue playing that game, which I'm sure I will, I'll probably start streaming some games and matches of Joust or Conquest or Arena, or whatever I decide to do. So yeah, thank you guys for listening to me for 10 minutes slash 11 minutes rambling, and I will see you next time, next video, maybe on the next Smite stream, whenever I decide to do one. Thank you, and see you later.